Did you know that Ernest Hemingway wrote standing up in the midst of dozens of cats roaming around? Fascinating, isn't it? Welcome to A Year of Writing, a podcast about writing, productivity, and marketing. Today, I wanted to talk about famous authors' writing routines. Have you ever wondered what the formula to success is? Well, let's find out from the pros. Let's start with the early risers. Those are authors who believe that the early bird catches the worm. Haruki Murakami, a Japanese novelist, is such an early bird. He wakes up at 4 o'clock in the morning and then he sits down and writes for between 5 to 6 hours straight. After that, he will either go for an hour's run or he will go for a swim. He's a marathon runner, so he really loves his runs. And he says that discipline is crucial to his creative process. Now, I actually tried Murakami's writing routine. And if you're curious about how it went, I will link it in the description and you can watch it on YouTube. And then there's Maya Angelou, who rented a hotel room and wrote from early morning to around 2 p.m. in the afternoon, only to return home as if she had been to a regular job. And for her, it seems like the morning hours are some sort of blank canvas when she can focus. And she also has this thing where she wants to separate her writing life from her work life. I myself love writing in the morning. After doing my morning routine, I sit down and write for anywhere from 1 hour and to multiple hours. I love the mornings. I have an easy time focusing in the morning, and that's when I found my time. What about you? And in contrast, the night has been a muse for many famous writers as well. Franz Kafka, a name that is associated with surrealism and stuff like that, he actually started writing 11 p.m. at night and worked his way through the silence of the night. Brandon Sanderson is another example of an author who loves writing at night. He says that he gets up at around noon and then he sits down and writes for 4 hours, and between 5 and 10 is family time for him. So then he will stop writing and just spend time with his family. After that, he will sit down and write from 10 p.m. to 2 a.m. And from 2 a.m. between 1 and 2 hours, he will have his downtime where he would do some reading or, gaming or whatever to, wind down. And I find this really interesting. It's such a big contrast from myself. I get up at 6 o'clock in the morning. I don't need an alarm clock. So, I'm a morning person, but if you're a night person and you can create a life that suits your biological rhythm, that's amazing. And I think that's the way to go if you can. But a lot of us, we also have to adapt to work and life around us. So it's not that easy. Another interesting fact about Brandon Sanderson is that he tracks his writing. So he will write down his word count for the day. And this is a great way to, see progress over time, and a way to also make sure that, you get those atomic habits. So what about the unconventional methods? Well, Truman Capote called himself a total horizontal author, and he claimed that he could not think straight unless he was lying down. And then we have Victor Hugo, who, when he faced the deadline, gave away all his clothes to his servants and said that he did not want them back until he had finished writing, because he did not want to get tempted to leave the house until he was done writing. So, if you need to use tricks to be able to sit down and write, that's okay too, because all is fair in writing. But at the heart of all these stories, there's one thing that keeps on coming back, and that is discipline. Stephen King is one of those authors who gets up and writes 2,000 words every single day, and he acclaims all his success to the fact that he's disciplined and actually sits down and writes. And I think regardless of when you write, what time of day, all the great authors that I've studied, most of them have the same theme when it comes to writing, that the fact that they write regularly, they have a writing routine, and they don't just write when they feel inspired. They don't just write when they have a lot of time. They make sure to prioritize their writing. And I think that we as authors or aspiring authors should do that too. And, from the crack of dawn to the late of night, from particular to disciplined, it doesn't really matter. What matters is there is no one size fits all when it comes to writing, but you do need to try and find a writing routine that works for you. And I hope that these examples could spark some sort of inspiration for you. What will your routine look like? Feel free to experiment and try your way forward. And maybe one day I will be discussing your writing routines on this show. Thank you so much for listening. Don't forget to subscribe and share this podcast with others if you liked it. If there's anything specific that you want me to talk about in the upcoming episodes, let me know either on social media or send me an email. My name is Natalie. Thank you so much for listening. Bye.